That's the Cologne lineup. One change from the first leg. They've had to bring in at centre half Gerd Strack, who takes the place of the injured Gerber, and it will mean some tactical changes. Kuhlmann, I'm sure, will play at the back, and Schuster will move forward to midfield, although I would think a pretty defensive midfield player. So with the exception of Zimmermann, it's the side which suffered their worst league defeat of the season, 1-5 to Bayern Munich on Saturday. Just 4 substitutes, including Heinz Flöher, the club captain. That's the Nottingham Forest lineup. They too have made changes in defence, of course. The return of Anderson and Burns. Bowyer will continue where he played in the second half of the first leg in midfield. And the front line total 55 goals. And this is Nottingham Forest's 55th game of the season. Again, just 4 substitutes. Woods, the goalkeeper, O'Hare, midfield or forward, Needham and Bryn Gunn, the youngster defenders. Bernd Kuhlmann and John McGovern, the 2 skippers, McGovern on the right. And the referee tonight is Nicolas Renier of Romania, and all the officials indeed come from that country. Dieter Müller. Just a check for you, that was. The referee, Nicolas Renier of Romania, gets his second leg underway with Forest commencing a straightforward, if not simple task. They need their 13th away win of the season, and they have 90 minutes to achieve it. Forest in the all-red strip, the dark strip, Cologne in white. And that's Zimmermann who's got forward right at the start. And the corner conceded. Conditions in marked contrast with the first leg. Plenty of green grass on the pitch and little sign of mud. Pitch barely taking a short stud. Strack to come up into the box at the back, and there'll be another corner headed away by Martin O'Neill. Plenty of big men forward. 3 on the near post, 1 on the far for Cologne. Peter Shilton waiting his first test. Anderson on the near post. And turned over by Schuster. And in fact, it came off Bowyer. So early pressure from Cologne. And it's Weisweiler, their manager, their trainer, obviously deciding he's got to play to the team's natural style, which is to attack, which is true, of course, of Nottingham Forest. Brian Clough said at lunchtime that the early moments will be important. Forest have not got to go out and chase this victory, they've got to settle first, and they're being put under early pressure. Chilton has come for it. It's Prestine. Nicely back to Konopka. And a beautiful swerve, and well headed away by Lloyd. And the first free kick. And the inevitable boos from the crowd. Konopka is the player down. Slovak for looking at. And just a quick word with Gary Birtles. Schuster still up on the edge of the area. Away by Anderson. John McGovern for Forest. They really can't get it away at all. And the flag up for offside against Zimmerman. Peter Shilton with the chance to steady things down. Birtles and Woodcock, the furthest forward. Woodcock, in fact, pushing well up on number 3, Zimmerman. The marking continued from the first leg. They're the two together. Schuster, number 5. And Birtles almost taking advantage of some rather casual play by Zimmerman. Kuhlman, the skipper, who came across. Woodcock. Neumann is number 10. Good play by McGovern. But a goal kick. Schumacher. Ball with Konopka. Slovak is down the same touchline. Muller in the middle. Neumann poised for the inward run. And Slovak fooling Clark completely. He's hit some beautiful crosses. Woodcock under pressure from the back. Looked at the referee, but he allowed Zimmerman to get away with what could have been a push. Prestine. Konopka. Slovak again on the touchline. McGovern. Woodcock, marked by Schuster this time. Robertson. He's wandering around quite a lot. Faced by Schuster. O'Neill. Birtles and Strack. Yes, Jonathan. Okay.
Jonathan, also, we're trying to get this interview within 3 or 4 minutes of the final whistle. So can we, if we lose contact, can we assume you are recording? Thanks, Lloyd. Okay.
What I will try to give you, Jonathan, if it's possible, I'll get Cluffy going and get him to tell you what he thinks. And if I can get him to do that without having to come up with the second question, so much the better. Yes, that's what I mean. So if you end the game and I stop and you bring up Cluffy with the one question, it would be nice. Okay. If it's possible for VT to give me the information, well, I'd be right in thinking you're likely to edit fairly tight from the arrival of Mr. Fleurs to half-time, because it was a real old mess that last 5 minutes. Can I just know that? Alex. You're just coming out, second half. Take it on the kickoff, I take it. Yes. Yes, good. So I thought actually the line about, not that I'm suggesting you're thinking about lines, but the line about having lost to people and things, it just was a hell of a mess, that spell altogether. I mean, not from me necessarily, but from the match. Quick check for you, Jonathan. I'm told by Alex and Mike that the interview will be longer than 2 minutes, but I will pause at 2 minutes and then carry on for focus. Dennis Weisweiler and his number 2, Johannes Flor, who is the 4th highest scorer of all time in the Bundesliga. Mungersdorfer Stadium packed with a crowd of over 61,000, 30,000 of whom are seated, and it's a really good atmosphere, and the home crowd have seen their side lose. So away go Nottingham Forest on the second half, attacking the goal to our right against the side who've been beaten 3 times at home this season, Cologne. They've lost to Eintracht Frankfurt, they've lost to Hamburg, and they've lost to Stuttgart. All sides up at the top of the table. Talking at the top of the Bundesliga, Stuttgart lead from Kevin Keegan's side, Hamburg, who are a point behind with a game in hand. Score an aggregate 3-3. All Forest need is 1 breakaway goal. Never mind if they're under pressure for 89 minutes. If they score a goal in the 90th minute, that will take them to Munich and the European Cup final. Zimmerman for Cologne to Floher. Here's Konopka. It has to be said that the fullbacks of Cologne have attacked rather better and offered more width than those of Nottingham Forest. Kraft is making his way into the area. No, he couldn't make it. Clicked on by O'Neill. This is Bertel. Bowyer. Kept it in. Woodcock. Bertel. Promising. Here's Woodcock given offside. Flag is up for the offside decision as Schumacher came out to meet Woodcock. Again, more volume of support for Forest in a crowd of 61,000. That's being shown on television in 11 countries around Europe. And here's Woodcock. Clark. Bertels. Comes away to cover the middle, and they've got Schuster playing just in front of the last lines of defence with the 2 marking 2. Here's Bowyer, beaten to it by Kuhlmann. And he's gone for the free kick to Nottingham Forest. The trainer of Cologne. Kuhlmann came to meet it. Lloyd was in the sandwich. Coleman, number 6 there, has come into the midfield, and Schuster is the player now playing at the back of the defence. Martin O'Neill. Taylor doing the talking. Here's Woodcock. Still being marked by Zimmerman. This is O'Neill, that's a nice turn. Can Anderson get in? Van Gool did well. Anderson, I think he's been seen twice in the opposition 18-yard area. Back player Schuster. Burns backpedaling. Lloyd makes it comfortably. It's Koolman playing right side of the middle of the field. But the marking up front, which is the most important thing for Forest, hasn't changed, and Robertson still coming from deep. Strack, who got there before Birtles. Here's Konopka. And the free kick has been given. Burns made his presence felt then, I think. Lovech. Konopka. 3 in the box for Cologne. It's a bit long. Clark to Robertson. Woodcock moving around forward, so is Birtles. Burns. Doesn't really look like getting anywhere then. And this is Sloher. Van Gool down the middle. Neumann on the near side as we look, number 10, covered well by McGovern. This is Birtles. Birtles down the middle. Here's Robertson. McGovern. Anderson trying to get in the back and may have done so. Neumann just recovering at the moment when Anderson seemed to have got past him. But a promising start to this second half by Forest. It's the second time they've got Anderson in as many minutes. That one occasion in the first half when he got in right at the start, but not since then. Birtles on the near post. Lloyd just inside the 6-yard area. Burns is up as well. A rather curious corner, to put it mildly. Frank Clark. That's a movement from Brian Clough. Birtles. Robertson. O'Neill to the right. Got to go backwards, but square to Clark. Bowyer. Koolman got back and turned in almost by Woodcock on the near post. Really enough to lift their supporters a bit, and they're responding to it. And back comes the reply from the Cologne supporters, and the atmosphere of this second leg of the semi-final building up. Neumann. Draw is good enough for Cologne, but they daren't sit back on it because one goal will be enough for Forest. Here's Prestine. Slower. Van Gool. Faced by McGovern. Neumann back to Prestine. All back for Forest, bar 2. And the free kick against O'Neill. And Weisweiler on his feet. Neumann, Kuhlmann and Strack all on the far side of the area. And one of the best left foots in the game of Floher to take the kick. It's short and rather badly. Clark for Forest. Got this far by beating Liverpool, of course, AEK Athens and then Grasshoppers of Switzerland. Another good pass by Burns. Van Gool has gone into the gap behind him. This is Neumann. Floher on the far post, Van Gool on the near. And nicked by McGovern. But the pace has perceptibly quickened. Anderson. O'Neill. Three ahead of him and McGovern square. Prestine facing him. And he gets the corner. Good to see Anderson trying to get to the goal line. Robertson comes to take it while Burns and Lloyd go into the 18-yard area. 10 minutes of the second half gone. And perhaps the best 10 minutes that Forest have had in the match so far. Lloyd trying to get through the crowd, and Schumacher lost it. Turned by Birtles it was. Real chaos in the Cologne defence from that corner. The goalkeeper came, never really got there, and it was Birtles who tried to turn on it, and at the other end, rather easier job for Shilton. Forest management feel that the Cologne defence is suspect. Here's Floher. To Neumann. Van Gool is in the middle. Konopka on the far side. Again the cover man was McGovern. Was played for Derby County when they were in the semi-final of the European Cup under Brian Clough. Van Gool on the near post. Everybody checking on who's covering who. Kuhlmann forward. Hit for Konopka. Blocked by McGovern. Herbert Neumann. Zimmerman. Van Gool. And a real old-fashioned clearance by Lloyd. Prestine coming for it. Floher. O'Neill for Forest. McGovern. Must be a free kick against Zimmerman for use of the elbow. Birtles. More commitment and speed of movement in the midfield for Forest in the second half is Birtles. Lloyd. It's a powerful run. The finish was a bit disappointing. Free kick given Forest's way. Still Robertson tending to hang back. He draws Konopka to him all the time. I know he's so adept at putting the ball over his man into space for Woodcock to run into, but Glowacz tends to be covering that space. On by Woodcock. Neumann twice. Running for Anderson to do. And he kept it in. Well, the linesman changed his mind. Or has the referee given the free kick? Yes, he's given the free kick. McGovern. Burns. Clark. Woodcock has come short, gone away again. Birtles has done the same. The ball with Lloyd. It's intended to be about 20 yards further forward. 0-0 with almost an hour of the match gone. 3-3 on aggregate. Just one goal would be enough for Forest. Cologne don't need to score, they can hold it at this. Woodcock away from two, but met the backman Schuster. Kuhlmann now breaking for Cologne. Came off his knee. Good challenge by Anderson. And Flohaupt pinching about 10 yards. Clark, almost losing out to Konopka and fouling him to keep him away. Cologne very experienced in Europe. This is their 17th season in European competition. They've been in every season of the 70s, and their record in the Bundesliga, which is now in its 16th season, is better than any other side. Konopka with the kick, 5 in the box for Cologne. At the back is Neumann, and Lloyd just got there first. Birtles. Birtles. Van Gool, who came across. Real struggle between Van Gool and O'Neill. Good challenge by Strack. But now O'Neill, he's got Woodcock to his right, taking on the backman. And the backman, Schuster, comes from defence into attack. Here's Fleur. Van Gool. Schuster now up in the box. Here's Neumann. Glowacz. Good triangle by the Germans. Konopka. Straight to McGovern. Birtles with a bit of space. And he's done well. He's only got Woodcock up with him. Now 3 coming behind, but he's done 2 of them. Woodcock is in the middle. And it just was a stuck-out leg that got it away. I think from Prestine. It really is end-to-end stuff now. It's becoming a marvellous semi-final. It's 4 against 4 here. Here's Flohaupt. And he hits it straight at Shilton. And Flohaupt stretching to get back as O'Neill comes away for Forest. Forest in going for the victory that they must have. They've got to guard against leaving themselves too bare at the back as the game swings from one end to the other. But they've got to gamble because they need the victory. Cologne don't. Here's Burns. Cologne in their 5th European semi-final. They've never been further. Forest ball. Robertson has come to take the corner. And they look a little bit worried. Bowyer in the 6-yard area. Flicked on, it's Bowyer! Yes, he's got it! Bowyer just inside the 6-yard area, and the flick on, and the man who's played in so many places for Nottingham Forest has the face of utter delight. The curled corner, there was the back flick on, and there's Bowyer in the 6-yard box unmarked, who curled it inside and into the roof of the net. 64 minutes gone, and the Union Jacks and Forest flags being waved in the Mungesdorfer Stadium. Nottingham Forest have their noses in front, 4-3 on aggregate. And now the whole balance of the tide changes. On by Neumann. But I think that Forest, if being a little more steady at the back, have got to keep playing the way they're playing. I'm sure their supporters would want them to do that. They cannot allow Cologne to have more of the pressure. Burns didn't quite make it with Kuhlmann forward. Really a question of playing to your natural instincts, and the natural instincts of Nottingham Forest is to go forward. And you can probably hear a very familiar British chant, "We shall not be moved." And Burns now with time to slow it down as the celebration goes on. Here's Schuster at the back. England have had at least one side in one of the European finals for all of the last 15 years. Really remarkable record. In that time we've had 13 winners and 7 runners-up. And with the Swedish side, Malmo, waiting in the final, with every chance at this moment that the European Cup could come back to England for the 3rd year running. Liverpool twice, and succeeded by the side who knocked them out in the first round, Nottingham Forest. Here's Woodcock, Birtles and Bowyer, and a free kick given for foot up. Dangerous kicking. Here's Kuhlmann for Cologne. Neumann. And the ball was out of play. The goal by Forest, the product of a really good start to the second half. The ball being pushed around much quicker than it was in the first. And Weisweiler, who looked worried before, looks even more so now. Halfway through the second half. This is McGovern. Birtles. Gary Birtles, 26 goals this season, 6 of them in the European Cup. And the man who saved or got the 3-3 draw, Okudera, is going to come on for Cologne. Came on as a substitute in the first match and scored Cologne's 3rd goal. O'Neill struggling with Prestine. Here's Schuster. Lovech. Konopka. Taking on Clark. 4 in the middle. And O'Neill back in defence to Robertson. Woodcock. Bowyer breaking again down the middle. And Anderson on the right side. And Lloyd forward as well. Clark. Oh dear. Bowyer did well to collect that. Birtles. Taking on Strack. And met the sweeper, Schuster. Sloher. That's O'Neill. Prestine making no attempt to go for that. Anderson. No question that Cologne are very groggy at this moment. Beautifully played by Woodcock. And the referee says only corner. Woodcock hoped for more, and with some justification. And they'll have to wait to take the corner because Cologne are making a substitution. Japanese international Okudera is coming on in the place of Glowacz, back to the same substitution as in the first leg. 20 minutes remaining. Out to Bowyer. Robertson. A little unlucky, it bounced off, having got it away with one, it bounced off his other leg. Schuster. Konopka. Quality of passing has deteriorated rapidly, Cologne. Indicative of the struggle they're now having. Germans started the semi-finals of Europe with 5 of the 12 sides coming from their country. Prestine. Blocked. And the free kick not given. Celebration among the Forest supporters has been unabated since the goal. Here's Clark. Woodcock, who's been the man of the match for Nottingham Forest. Again, trying to get away from his man. Here's Birtles. Another German attack, starting with Dieter Prestine. Schuster coming forward. Sloher. But they're bunching more now. There was no width for the Germans on that attack, and they had plenty in the first half. Lloyd and Burns together. Clark. O'Neill. Zimmerman to Neumann. Van Gool on the left. Neumann far post, this is Sloher. Oh, dear, that came off Lloyd. Sloher. And Forrest survived, so they didn't know too much about it. And McGovern caught, being a little bit casual. Van Gool, they've got 3 in the box again, Cologne. And the nod down by Neumann, safely in the arms of Shilton. It's not going to be for faint hearts this last quarter of an hour and a little bit more. And Brian Clough is up on his feet on the touchline. Second time he's taken a side to the semi-final of the European Cup. Last time ended in failure with Derby County. And the shout to Martin O'Neill. Bertels and Strack. Oh, they're coming forward in numbers from midfield. It's Bowyer again. Here's Robertson. We haven't had the goals of the first leg when they came tumbling through in a mixture of excitement and fast. This is testing the nerves of everybody here. And the one goal of the match so far is putting Forest to the final. Woodcock, fouled by Zimmerman. Quarter of an hour of the match remaining. Bowyer's goal dividing the teams. Bowyer might not have played if Archie Gemmill had been fit. Might even not play in the final if Trevor Francis plays. On by Lloyd. Away by Zimmerman. Lloyd again. Got the free kick for the challenge on Neumann. Van Gool. Neumann, capable of hitting them from that sort of range. An appeal for handball. And it's been given. And Heinz Fleur immediately goes across to the scene of the action. And it's an ideal position for him to try a curler with his left foot. Strack goes up into the area. They've got four forward. Schuster just behind the kicker. Here's Fleur. Blocked by Woodcock. Anderson. And a free kick given against Van Gool. Again, Woodcock way down the middle, pushing right up on Zimmerman. Bertels more up than on. O'Neill. Bertels. Strack with him. Anderson made the room for the cross. Woodcock, O'Neill just behind. Still 3, 4, 5 in the area. And Neumann under a lot of pressure from O'Neill. But too much, says Mr. Renier, and gives the free kick to Cologne. Konopka. Everybody funneling back for Forest. Every player behind the ball. Neumann. Slower, being hounded by Lloyd. Bertels. Woodcock is in the middle. And Bertels very happy to play it cleverly. And he gets his corner. Young man of 22. He's had a remarkable season, Gary Birtles. One game before this season, made his debut in the European Cup and scored the first goal against Liverpool at Nottingham. And has scored 25 since then. Nodded down and not comfortably, and another corner. Which Lloyd is waiting in the area. One goal, of course, came from a corner. Burns is up. Good punch by Schumacher. And here's Okudera. And they're forward in numbers from the back. Konopka's come forward. Neumann came forward. But they've still got four back marking one. Ten minutes remaining. 10 minutes between Nottingham Forest and a place in the final at Munich on May the 30th against the Swedish side Malmo. Coached by an Englishman, Bobby Houghton. Here's Zimmerman. Threw into the gap and couldn't take it with him. Anderson. The referee with a close view, unimpressed by German appeals. And this Weisweiler, respected as one of the best coaches in the game. Also one of the most energetic in terms of getting up and down off his seat during a match. Very nervous man during the 90 minutes. Lloyd got it wrong, and here's Floheur. Got it wrong really as well, but it was almost carried in by Van Gool. It's a corner. Don't think that's what Floheur meant. Burns is the player down. Have a look at it again. Swept wide. Lloyd didn't really get there. Came to Floheur, who I think was aiming for a shot. Pulled it across, and Van Gool almost getting a touch for Shilton going the other way. Burns on his feet again. Corner about to be well struck, I suspect. Away by Bowyer. On by Birtles. And the flag up for offside against Van Gool. Birtles, Woodcock. Schuster stump away to Floheur. Lloyd to nobody in particular, but it doesn't matter too much. Bowyer again. Schuster from the back. Good backtracking by Birtles. Van Gool. Floheur pulling away for the throw. Cologne pushing more and more men forward as they have to do. And Burns knocks it away. Woodcock carries it away. Oh, this is a fine run by Woodcock, committing people all the way. 7/10 minutes remaining. Forest is nothing, but well aware that if Cologne equalise, that's good enough for the Germans. They only need the draw. Forest have to win. Zimmerman. All back bar two. And here's McGovern. To Bowyer. Waited well. Robertson. Obstructed surely by Konopka, the referee agrees. Cologne on a reported bonus of £3,000 a man to reach the final, 6,000 if they won the European Cup. There's no lacking of incentive. Six minutes left, and Forest in possession in every sense. Woodcock. Robertson, they get the corner. For which Lloyd begins to amble forward as Schuster and Prestine move back into the middle. Lloyd coming on the near post. 10 is Woodcock. Robertson. Birtles. Hit through to Birtles and well killed. Struck at his back. And the crowd impatient for the Germans to get possession. Just hooked away by Prestine. And the groans telling their story as we move into the last 5 minutes. And Forest keeping Cologne in the safest area, which is in the last third of the field. Federa. It's made no impression so far. Burns. Kenny Burns has had his struggles with fitness, but even so has given Forest a better balance in defence. Herbert Neumann made his debut against England in February '78 when the Germans came from behind to win it late on. Only cap he's got so far. Here's Birtles for a very, very late flag. And there's no way that the linesman was square. Linesman was 10 yards ahead of the play then. Zimmerman. Birtles' challenge. Neumann. Zimmerman. Massive white shirt forward. And Konopka, and it was blocked. And the corner. And Bowyer saying calm down. I think we'll find on the replay that the shot came from the Japanese. We're not going to see it as the corner's taken. And Floer beaten to it by Anderson. 2 minutes left. Kuhlman, Van Gool, O'Neill, and being encouraged by supporters in front of me just to hit it down into the opposition half. But possession is a better way of doing it. Here's McGovern. O'Neill. It's taking to the corner flag, I suspect. Loses out in trying to do so. Burns across the cover of Van Gool. The ball was out of play. Johannes Law on his feet. There's more goals for Cologne than anyone, but can do nothing about the situation now. That's just a long, hopeful bash forward. Sort of thing that English sides are criticised for when things are going against them. They're less than a minute away from doing what many people thought was impossible, Brian Clough and Peter Taylor. Here's Struck. Konopka. Koolman now playing at centre forward, on by Neumann. Here's Koolman. Anderson. Oh, he's only put it to Zimmerman. Off Anderson. Bowyer to him. And Burns having to die in front. Strack, Van Gool. Very nearly unbearable to watch, let alone to play. Here's Konopka with a fine effort and a good save by Shorten. Can he recover? And he does. Not only was that a good save, but he recovered his balance so well to grab the rebound. The only real save he's had to make, and he made it so well twice. Here's Woodcock. McGovern. Referee looking at his watch, and Nottingham Forest are in the European Cup final. Carrying on where Liverpool left off. Having beaten Liverpool, they've carried on from there to keep the English flag in the final for the third year running. And they've done it the hard way, to the delight of their flag-waving supporters. They seem to have lost their way at home, but they found their way in Cologne, scoring the one goal that they needed by Ian Bowyer in the 64th minute of the match. Celebration scenes going on in the middle, and the Forest players going over to their supporters and getting whistled off as Koolman there with his head looking down. Peter Shilton, whose mistakes seem to have cost Forest their place in the final, now can celebrate with the rest as they go there to meet Malmo on May the 30th in Munich. And they'll be there too, there's no doubt about that. Cologne coming off looking utterly dejected. The balance was certainly in their favour before this started, for all the comments of the manager and assistant manager of Nottingham Forest, Brian Clough and Peter Taylor. But they believe what they said, and they've sent Koolman and company out of the stadium in despair. Tony Woodcock being embraced by supporters. What a fine match he had. And the photographers only want faces of Nottingham Forest players. Marked contrast around the stadium. Pack of Forest supporters celebrating. Supporters of Cologne looking utterly stunned. Forest in the final to follow where Liverpool led for the last 2 years, and to meet Malmo, a team coached by an Englishman, and Brian Clough surely now with a marvellous chance of realising his ambition.
Jo.
Soll ja dort auflaufen. Das war jedenfalls der Ausgangspunkt. Ja, ich bin ja hier am Fähnchen, aber Herr Klöppen fragt, ob die in Wiesbaden überhaupt schon auszahlungsbereit sind. Lass uns das so stehen lassen.